Hey you folks and hobbyists, today we're going to be installing Ubuntu Mate 24.04 in GNOME boxes. I actually really like this program. I use it for a lot of things. Believe it or not, it doesn't just do virtual machines, it does other stuff, but we're not going to talk about that. We're going to talk about Ubuntu Mate 24.04. I like that it doesn't, again, this is a GNOME boxes thing. It doesn't auto find Ubuntu, which is weird, but I'm going to be installing it into a VM with 4 gigs and 25 gigs of storage, but 4 gigs of memory on BIOS. I don't know if UEFI it doesn't matter. We're just going to be taking a look at this. This is a distro delve. I haven't done one of these in a while. So let's make the top part go away so that we can just see the program. Preparing Ubuntu Mate. Mate. They should have a way to pronounce it because everybody says mate. And it looks like mate, but it is mate, like the tea. So I think, wow, that was ridiculously loud. Yeah, I have my earphones in because I'm monitoring so I can hear my voice, and it's on 100%. And I guess my system's on 100%, but wow, I was not expecting that. That kind of hurt. Okay, but anyway, I've gone through the installer before. This is the new installer, I believe, written in Flutter and Dart. I'm not sure why I don't know what was wrong with the old installer, but this is the new one. The theming is okay, but I can't really tell that this is selected. It just says green, but it doesn't say green. It says English, but it's green, and it's like a light green. It's hard to see, and they use it kind of all over the place. So like I've selected it, right? But that's all I can see is the green. Like you'd think it would stay highlighted, but you can set up your accessibility. That's cool. None of it's on by default, so this is just, if you can see it and you can read it, then you can select these options, I guess. And keyboard layout, there's the green that you can barely see again. The connection is wired, though it is cool that you can just not set up your network. You could try Ubuntu Mate in the live session, or you could install it, which is what we're going to be doing. This is an interactive installation, not an automated one. I haven't messed around with this, but it looks like there's some sort of auto install YAML. That's cool. 2 different desktop options, minimized, not like a minimized window, but minimal, and the full featured Ubuntu Mate desktop, which is what we're going to do. Because I actually want to see what default apps and stuff, or like what comes out of the box with it, so I can look at my hobby Linux and see what I need to shore up there. Install third-party software for Wi-Fi, graphics, all that good stuff. Sure. We're in a VM, so it doesn't really matter. We're going to erase the disk and install Ubuntu Mate, though. Wow, this is actually pretty nice. Wasn't expecting it to be so schnazzy. Look at the experimental badges. Pretty nice. I don't know much about ZFS, but I see people in my social media feeds talk about how cool it is, so it must be pretty good. Set up the computer. My nice simple password. I like that it says just use Active Directory. No configuration, just be sure to use it. All right, let's see what the console's doing. Oh, it's really noisy. Okay, so it's going to install. I'm sure it'll work fine. If it fails, I'll show you, but let's just fast forward to the desktop. And here it is. Man, there it is again. Maybe we could have this start at 50% instead of full blast. I've never had issues with this before. I guess I don't usually have my audio plugged in like this, but dang, it's really loud. So here is the desktop. This is a default Mate desktop with a bar on the bottom and a bar on the top. So I was expecting a welcome app. I didn't get one unless I closed it on autopilot. Did it not launch one? I swear Mate has a help app, doesn't it? Well, here's the Mate guide, which is actually pretty cool. I don't think I've ever opened this. Dang. So let's take a look at the desktop, starting with the file manager. So this is a distro delve, right? What did I used to do in distro delves? I'd test a bunch of formats and stuff, and we'll get to all that. But I want to look at the desktop, just what it has to offer, because Hobby Linux, the distro that I'm working on, uses the Mate desktop too, the Mate desktop, and it's a little bit janky. So it's actually quite impressive to see how polished Ubuntu Mate is. Like the things, rounded. Like there's just a lot of polish that you have to do a lot of work to make Mate look like. So I'm taking notes. So Ubuntu has its own icon theme called Yaru. So let's remove that. We get a notification up here. It actually looks pretty good. The default notification is very On Mate, everything is very rough around the edges. It's all old school, so they did a lot of work to make this look new and modern. The appearance is a custom blend of Yaru. Whoa, Yaru Blue Dark. Look at these. These are slick. If you've ever used Cinnamon, the way that you customize the UI, like the overall theme, is very similar to Cinnamon. And I've often wondered why Cinnamon exists when Mate is almost the same thing. Like there's so much feature overlap. And I bring that up because this looks almost identical to Cinnamon's setup. So let's have a look at one of these dark themes. Blue Dark. It's pretty cool. Ooh, it's actually really cool. Maybe we change the background. Got a lot of different backgrounds. I'm surprised it's not using a more fancy Ubuntu Mate one. This is kind of maybe a little bit bland. Put something else on there. I was playing around with the different themes, and I noticed when you go from Yaru Mate Light, you have a little blue guy up there, and then you go to a different one, it becomes a different icon. So I don't know why they're using different icons, but... So the theme and setup looks good. I noticed that there's a snap folder. I have decided that I do not like or use snaps at all anymore. So that was one reason why I moved away from Kubuntu, was that my experiences with snap on Ubuntu was so bad, coupled with some security issues they had. I said, you know what, there's alternatives. I'm not going to use snap anymore. In accessories, we have all kinds of stuff. A weather app. We have a backup app. Backup, create your first backup. Is this deja vu? No maps is pre-installed, which doesn't surprise me that much because I said that I wanted the full featured desktop, and it looks like it just kind of installs a whole bunch of GNOME stuff. I opened a whole bunch of Mate apps. We have the Control Center. You've already seen that appearance. Let's just close those. In Grandpa, I think is how you say it. It's the archive manager, and it comes from the Mate desktop. So there's one Mate app. Calculator is another one. Font viewer is another one. This thing is okay, but when you get a lot of fonts, it goes so slow that it actually crashes before it opens. In 2024, it is odd that the Mate desktop has bugs like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, that is an odd bug that I would expect to be fixed by now. But I don't know, if you have a ton of fonts, and I found this out on Arch when I was testing fonts. You pop this open and it just blows up. Mate has its own file searcher, which is actually pretty good. If I type host and I search at the root level, not the desktop, the root level, it'll find stuff immediately, super fast. I love it. I don't know if you've ever tried to use file searching that's built into like the file manager. It never works right. It's just junk. I don't understand it. But these external programs work really good for finding stuff. Pluma is the file text editor. Yeah, text editor. And it's not too bad. I think that it has a bug with the side thing doesn't work, or there's some strange bug with it, but it's fine. Eye of Mate image viewer. We'll get the GitHub repo and get the sample files in just a minute. The color selector, color pickers. So fun fact, this does not work on Wayland. In fact, I don't think any color pickers work on Wayland. They're X only. A trail document viewer and the control center. Cool. So what's the browser? Firefox? From Firefox, we will go to GitHub Distro Delves. It uses Google as the search engine, and we will clone this. Does it have Git? The terminal font's a little ugly for my taste. It does not have Git, so let's get that. Let's get that. We'll get NeoFetch while we're at it too. Oh, before we do that, I haven't installed anything yet. Let's see. A default install size is 11 gigs, and we won't be able to do free because I have like a ton of stuff open, but that was a Distro Delves thing I used to do. All right, let's take a look at the NeoFetch, shall we? NeoFetch. Ooh, I changed the color theme so that it might be easier to read, but I don't know if it is. There, now we can see the whole screen. So this is Ubuntu Mate 24.04 LTS. It is kernel version 6.8.0 generic. 10 snaps are installed by default. Who are they? Who are these snaps? Oh, Firefox and the Snap Store. I haven't launched that yet. Let's take a look at the Snap Store. Oh, whoa, this is totally different. This kind of reminds me of Deepin's Software Center. I don't know if Deepin has changed much. I haven't looked at Deepin in like probably 2 years, but I remember having a pane on the side and then the content was in the middle. I have to say though, it's a little barren. Like I was expecting more. It's just a single list of apps and the user has to scroll through or swipe through to see them all. Now Steam can be installed as a snap now. Oh, it is coming as a snap. Interesting. I kind of want to check it out. I know I'm in a VM, but let's see what this is all about. I mentioned earlier that I don't use snaps anymore, and I don't particularly like them for my own uses, but I'm well aware of their uses in the wild in enterprise land. They're commonly used, or they were commonly used in Internet of Things devices, because when the device boots up, Snap will get all the updates and the system's immutable, and it's actually it's a pretty good setup. It's just the implementation is a bit flawed. So it looks like Steam is installed. We can do snap list and we see Steam, which Steam, and it is literally snap bin Steam. So what happens when we launch it? It just looks like Steam. Interesting. Okay. I don't really have an opinion on whether Steam should be in a container or not. Like it's in the Flatpak. I don't use that. I just use the system version of it. So choices are good. All right, what else do we have here? We have universal access, screen reader is Orca, onboard keyboard, screen magnifier. We have a system monitor, a usage analyzer, and an image mounter. What does the image mounter do? It just mounts it as a thing. It's kind of cool. It kind of surprises me that Mate has its own disk usage analyzer. I think that there's one called Baobab that GNOME, and then KDE has their own. Mate's system monitor is just old school. Not bad. Like it's fine. It refreshes fast. The lines are smooth. Like this, it's a good little tool. It looks like celluloid is the media player. Interesting. Okay, I'm using VLC okay, so Steam seems to work fine. I'm not going to go any further with it though. Oh, I noticed Steam doesn't have an indicator up here. What? It should be up here running in the background. Huh, I'm not sure. I have indicators working on Hobby Linux, so I don't know. This just must be misconfigured or something. But anyway, let's go ahead and get the Distro Delve's tests on the road. Get clones. I guess it'd be like Ruby puts. It's not Ruby put, it's puts with an S if you want to print something to the console in Ruby. Oh man, it's been a while since I've even seen this. What do I have in test files? Do I not have anything in test? Do I have anything? I don't have anything. Oh man, I have some code. But where are the files? Where are the videos and apps and stuff? Documents? What do we got? OTP? Let's take a look. Okay, LibreOffice seems to work pretty good. Actually looks great. This looks really good. This is 24.2 of LibreOffice. This is a slideshow. Here's just an ordinary document. It was I made this. It was made by Zed, or with Zed in Cinnamon. And Documents works fine. And oh, that's right, I added emojis because not all text editors can show emojis. So Pluma's pretty good. So I'm gonna have to go source some files for testing for like the video and stuff like that. But before that, I remember writing something for Androgy, and there's even like a script to install dependencies, but I don't remember what my plan here was. I'm not sure what this even does. Oh, okay. So it installs Ruby. Imagine that. But it's this little Zenity program I had. So in the bin folder, there's one file called install. Let's see what it does. Oh, it's this guy, Androgy. Wow, look at the window. It's odd. And the two huge chunky buttons down here, this is not how it is supposed to look at all. GTK4, whatever this is, has hijacked it. Why yes, Androgy, I am thinking of delving a distro today. Let me copy some things over so you can begin testing. Okay. All done. It took less than a second. What did you transfer? And it's like blowing up in the console. What did I write? I don't know what this even is. Here's his pictures. My God, EG, what were you doing? And we're back on my Ubuntu Mate desktop. But actually, before we do anything else, it is using about a gig of memory at idle. What is going on? Like what What is doing all of that? Let's find out. We have the Mate session. We have system D. Oh, by the way, I made this 1080p, so the resolution it looks more normal. It's not just like a square box on the screen. So there's wire plumber, snap D, pipe wire. Evolution is a big boy. Brisk menu has a daemon that runs that caches all of this. So when you click it, it doesn't launch a new application. It's just pulling what's in the daemon, which is kind of clever, but it's also consuming 50 megabytes of memory just sitting there. And it looks like another chonky boy is the Ayatana indicator service, which is not that much, but it's probably over 100 megs. GNOME Boxes has this really cool feature where you can send a file. What I did was create a whole bunch of test files, all using Kdenlive or GIMP, and I zipped them up as a 7-zip, so we're also going to find out if Ubuntu Mate can do 7-zip. Yep, there you go, no problem at all. So we'll drag and drop that puppy, go into the tests, and what do we have? I am looking for thumbnails. I am looking for compatibility and making sure everything works. And I don't see... the PNGs aren't showing up. So PNG, BMP, and JPEG XL. Can you even open this? You can't. Interesting. Can I drag and drop into it though? Oh, you can't drag and drop into it? Why not? Oh wait, this is Shotwell. Why did Shotwell open it? I guess it doesn't. That's not that surprising. Well, you know what? Let's move all of these pictures to the picture folder and see what Shotwell thinks about it. Shotwell crashed. Like it crashed the whole system, it seems. Yeah, I tried to launch Shotwell and it blew the whole system up. I don't know if this is Ubuntu Mate or the fact that I'm in a VM, but that wasn't good. Looking through the journal, I don't see anything. Now this is 10:16, and so it just happened. Here's something. Yeah, I got no idea what caused that. Oh, it crashed again. Oh, look, I reproduced it right there in front of you. See, it happened. I had launched Shotwell and it crashed. All right, now EG's in bug smashing mode. Let's see if we can reproduce it. Do we have Shotwell? We have Shotwell. Okay, so Shotwell, here we go. Boom, just like that. Yeah, you are watching EG the QA tester. There's actually not a whole lot I can do here, but I can pass it a file and we can see what it does from there. So let's try to do space EG JXL because we know that worked. Let's see what it does. So it opens it, but it says the source file is missing. So let's do soldier EG because he is a JPEG. And there he is, cute looking boy. But I'm trying to see if I can go back, as there seems to be some kind of issue with how it displays all the files. Anyway, like I said, I'm not going to spend a ton of time on this. Looks like Shotwell's busted. Now it surprises me that the thumbnailer can show and generate and show thumbnails for an AVIF file, but not a PNG file. Now if I open it in Eye of Mate, this is not what it is supposed to look like. This actually looks kind of crummy. It's adding a whole bunch of noise, and you can see it, the red. I think maybe it might get washed away or look weird with the rendering, but this is not how this file should look. There you go, you get a side-by-side. You can see the weird red noise in the green. And it doesn't look like Eye of Mate or Shotwell can open JXL. Now let's do kind of the same thing with rhythm. Let's actually do it with all of them. So I'm going to move the music to the music. How'd this get here? Did I cut what? Where did these come from? Because they were in here, weren't they? Did I copy them out and put them in music, or did Rhythm Box find them? What the heck? I don't want those. Get those away. We'll paste these guys in here, and let's check out Rhythm Box. Rhythm Box also caused it to crash. Okay, this is odd. Well, I guess I'll move the videos to the video folder and test those with Celluloid. What if I just launched Celluloid? No, I launched Celluloid earlier, and it was fine. Yeah, see, Celluloid's okay. Can I drag and drop these? That's not what I meant to do. Can I drag and drop these into Celluloid? What is going on here? Click, drag, drop. And there it is. This is just one of them. The first one, Yeah, okay. So this is H264 MKV. Here's the MP4. Here is the HEVC. Hey, it's running pretty good too. MPEG. MPEG's running good, and VP8. All right. All the videos work good. This is 720p. It'd be silly to try to test 2K or 4K in a VM, but at least the codecs work good. I'm a little mystified by the audio. I'm guessing, oh, it's going to play it with celluloid? It's unsurprising that all of the audio works fine. All the video working is good. It means the codecs are all lined up properly. I don't know what to say about Shotwell or what was the other one? Rhythmbox? What's webcamoid? Is that going to crash everything too? Oh, it's capturing the screen. That's cool. It's kind of like OBS, but not really. It's really laggy. I'm in a VM, so I'm not that worried about it. But yeah, oh, you know what? I forgot Mate Tweak. This was one of the things I wanted to look at actually because it's in the AUR. As Hobby Linux is based on Arch, but it's not an Arch distro, and it has the AUR, but I can't get this to work on there. It won't build. And I tried the GitHub repo, and that didn't work either. So this tool is strange. It should not be difficult to build and compile, but for whatever reason it is. I've always thought Mate was a pretty good candidate for a Pantheon. Like, what is going on here? Do you want to delete the applet? Oh, there's like a phantom applet here. Oh man, this is pretty rough around the edges, to be honest with you. It looks like the brisk menu didn't come over. We could have it look like Windows. Let's see if it fails here too. No, it worked properly. Yeah, and it looks good too. I think this looks great. Just like this. It does look a lot like Windows. There we go. I made the desktop black. We can eject that, get that out of there. What's this guy? Can we get rid of that? You know, overall, Ubuntu Mate is pretty good, but there were some spots where it was very rough around the edges. And I mean, it's a new release, so I'll give it that, but it's an LTS release. So I kind of have to say, don't release stuff that's broken for an LTS release. But like I've mentioned already a few times, this is a VM, graphics, LLVM pipe, it's all virtualized. So there could be some weird inconsistencies happening there. But with that, I'm going to say adios to Ubuntu Mate. I appreciate you, and I appreciate everybody that watched this. I'm looking forward to when I do a distro delve of my own, on my very own Hobby Linux. But until then, you can follow me and support me by subbing to the channel or becoming a member. I really do appreciate everybody that subscribes and engages with the channel. There are people that I see regularly leave comments on basically everything, and you guys are the MVPs. Even if a video gets like 100 views, there are those of you that leave really thoughtful comments, and I really, really appreciate you. But yeah, that's going to wrap it up. Once again, thanks again, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.